Shut up and sit down.
Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna get a little bit of a message from your inner child, and yeah, we're gonna see what your inner child has to say to you. So the inner child has a lot to do with your joy in life and your feeling of safety. You know, your inner child is something that's going to be there for the rest of your life, and it's what keeps you joyful. It's what keeps that spark alive in you, you know. So we're going to see what your inner child has to say. We have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1, we have this Kinder Joy egg with the polka dots on it. Okay. For pile 2, we have this egg with the polka dots and the turquoise. And for pile 3, we have this cute little green, yellow, and pink pattern. So yeah, if you're ready, you can choose group 1, group 2, or group 3. Your timestamps will be in the description below. I've already pre-shuffled your tarot cards, but we're going to get some oracle cards, some clarifier cards, and some chakra wisdom cards as well for this reading. So if you're ready, you can find your timestamp in the description below, and we're going to see what your inner child has to say to you. So let's do this. Hi, if you chose group 1, you chose this pink Kinder Joy egg, and we're going to see if we can get a message from your inner child. I am sorry if my camera's shaking. It's on this. Never mind. The fact of the matter is the message is more important than the camera shaking. So I'm going to try to relay this message to you in a first person perspective from your inner child. So we're going to see what cards you got pre-shuffled for your inner child reading. So at first we've got Justice in reverse. We've got the Queen of Swords in reverse. We have got the 8 of Wands in reverse. We have got the Knight of Wands in reverse. And lastly, we have got the 10 of Wands upright. So let's see what Spirit has to tell you in terms of your inner child. Let's see here. Hi. I know that you feel some things in life are still unfair, and you've cut out a lot in your life, but it doesn't ever feel like you're the place you want to be. It feels like things are going really slowly for you, and it's like you are trying so hard, but it's going very slowly, and that's okay, you know. It's okay for things to go slowly. It's okay for you to feel like things aren't going your way or things are always against you. That sometimes feel like that. It sometimes feels like that. But Spirit wants you to remember that life doesn't happen, you know, things don't happen against you, things happen for you. And your inner child really wants you to go with the flow, and it wants to tell you that it can see that you're working very hard, but there's an element of a lot of imbalance here, because you almost feel like you can force things in a direction that you want them to be in, as to not repeat the same feelings that you had in the past, or maybe even as a child the feelings that you may have had. So your inner child is really telling you to appreciate the journey more than the outcome. Often this message I get is like being a kid on a road trip and sleeping the entire way and waking up when you get there, and you've missed all the scenery and the entire journey because you are focused on the beginning of the journey and the end, not really the progress. And a lot of the progress you make is not particularly in finishing a task, it's in the doing of the task. And your inner child is really calling for you to start enjoying the journey of the task instead of just the outcome. Because at the end of the day, if the outcome isn't exactly what you wanted, you still learn things along the way, and that's something that your inner child needs you to know. It needs you to know that learning is more important than achieving. Okay. So we are going to get an oracle card for you, and we're going to see what your oracle card has in store for you in terms of the message that we received. So Spirit is really asking you to enjoy the journey, and your inner child enjoys the learning experience apart from just the achievements. Your inner child really enjoys you learning things and educating yourself. It's almost like your inner child likes to study for the test and doesn't care what marks it gets because it just learned something, you know. So we got this one for you. It says, starting fresh, a wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. And this is really reiterating the message for me that your inner child is asking you to look at life a little differently, okay? Because at the end of the day, we have some seasons depicted here, all seasons really, and this is making me think of the journey from spring, summer, and autumn, winter. All of these things are a journey, and the seasons go through journeys to get where they need to be, you know. So this is almost an energy of waiting for winter to be over so it can be a little warmer again. But at the end of the day, if you're just waiting for winter to be over, you may not see the beautiful snowflakes, or you may not experience the wonderful things that winter bring to us, because you're so busy waiting for summer. There's this waiting energy, and it's an energy of waiting for something so badly that you're not appreciating what's currently there. And I definitely feel like this is something that your inner child wants you to work on. You know, that your inner child definitely is feeling like you need a bit more of a mindful approach to life to start enjoying the little things again, you know? That's what I'm getting. So firstly, we've got Scarlet. She's fun, flirty, and gorgeous, and boy does she know it. Constantly surrounded by admirers, she loves the attention and will do anything to keep it. So this isn't particularly talking to me about ego at the moment. This is particularly talking to me about a fear of maybe changing the way in which you're currently approaching your life. And once again, this is really talking to me about the perspective of wanting to see change, but the change being the only achievement. You know, if nothing changes, you're unhappy. But at the end of the day, the steps you took to get there still changed in small ways. You know, the steps you took to get there changed things in small ways. So once again, reiterating the fact that it's focusing on the journey rather than the outcome. And of course, we all wish for good outcomes for our journeys and our hard work, but at the end of the day, let me tell you too, like this. It's like making a costume for a competition, buying the costume, winning the competition, and having the pride of winning, but not the pride of having made the costume. You get what I'm saying? It's almost like there's a hands-on element missing here. So we have the rope upright. Let's see what else we get. The rope upright is telling me that you're too tethered to certain outcomes, and once again, I'm getting a car analogy. It's like a kid, a parent asking a child where they, asking a child if they want to go with them on a trip. The child doesn't know where they're going. They could be going to the dentist. They could be going to Disneyland. They don't know where they're going, but they're gonna get in the car anyway because at the end of the day, they might see, you know, something cool, or something cool might happen on the way there. On the way there is the key for you. On the way there. Okay, then we've got White. She's tough, determined, and will do what it takes to get to the top. When things don't go her way, watch out for her vengeful streak. So I don't particularly get a vengeful nature from you. All I'm feeling is that you're very disappointed when things do not go your way, or when the hard work you've put in is not appreciated the way you thought it would be. But at the end of the day, once again, we're getting to the point where the message is telling you it's not about the outcome, it is about the journey. Because at the end of the day, yes, people focus on outcomes a lot, but the story of a journey is much more entertaining sometimes than the outcome, if you want to think about it like that. So we're going to get a chakra wisdom card for you on what your inner child feels like you need to do to get more in alignment with this advice that you are being given by Spirit. Okay, it's too many, but we did get one. Okay, let's take that one, because that was obviously meant for you. Fourth chakra, heart chakra, unconditional love. I allow myself to be open to giving and receiving love without fear of rejection. I give without expecting recognition or acknowledgement in return. When I'm loving to others, I'm helping bring out the innate love within them so they also feel uplifted, worthy, and cared for. I love myself the way I am, not the way I was or could be, and I extend this love to others. I teach others how to love and respect me by how I love and respect myself. So to love and respect yourself and to teach others while you are loving and respecting yourself is a very current energy. So everything you do is going to be your current energy, outcomes are future energy, okay? So Spirit is once again asking you to be mindful of your current energy, to be mindful of how you inspire others, because you do. Hard work inspires others, okay? Sitting and working hard and applying yourself to things really inspires others. It's not about winning the Nobel Prize, it's about the work that got you there, all right? I hope this is resonating with you. I hope you understand what it is that I'm trying to say, all right? So this is all I'm getting for you, group 1. I hope this helped. I hope it shed a bit of a perspective. I'm not sure if this channeled the way I expected it to, but this is the message that I got through for you. And I hope that this resonated with you and it meant something to you, because you're a great person, man, and you deserve to be joyful. So thank you very much for joining me for this reading. I'm very appreciative of your presence. And I hope you have a very pleasant morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye bye. Group 2, if you chose the turquoise egg, this is going to be your reading. So let's just move this one out of the way. And there we go. So let's see what Spirit has to say to you in terms of your inner child. I tried to channel it personally as an inner child from a first person perspective. I barely remember what I said in the first pile because I'm just channeling so openly that the thoughts, that the words just kind of roll out, if you understand what I'm saying. So let's see what you get here. You got the 7 of Cups in reverse. You got Justice upright. You got the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. You have got the 9 of Pentacles upright, and you have got the Queen of Cups. So let us see what your inner child might be trying to tell you through these cards. We got shuffled cards for our general energy, and we're going to get some more if necessary. So what your inner child is really telling me off the bat is that it feels like it constantly needs to make a choice between it's almost a feeling of your inner child still feels like it needs to make a choice between, you know, fun and abundance. It feels like there's definitely an air of overwhelming emotions, almost like you are definitely feeling a sense of judgment from family, particularly. There could be that your family is forcing you to go into a job or a scenario that you're not particularly very fond of, or that you feel like you need to do certain things the way your family might expect you to, and that is something your inner child wants you to focus on. Your inner child wants to tell you that you can have any abundance you desire, and the only thing that needs to be clear is your idea, because it's your life. So your family can put ideas in front of you, or your friends or your significant other can put ideas in front of you, but it's not the life that you are wanting to live. It's not the life that your inner child knows that you want to be living. Your inner child knows what brings you joy, happiness on a level that is so basic that you cannot help but feel that joy in your being, and your inner child is telling you that nobody else can make this decision for you. If you feel trapped in a scenario that has been put upon you by others, your inner child is really telling you to look at that and to do what your heart feels you want to do, not what others say you should be doing. They are telling you that it is very necessary for you to follow your emotions and for you to really take a clear, unmasked look with this unmasked eagle here. Well, it's not an eagle, but it's definitely the type of bird that is going to be scouting, because she has the glove on. So it's almost like they're telling you to scout with your eyes open, to look for things that you will really resonate with, because if someone else gives you a route, then that's not always the route that it is that you want to be following, and they're telling you that nobody can tell you what route you need to follow. This is something that is supposed to come from your heart, all right? So that was a very simple to the point message, but we're going to get some oracle cards and see if there is anything that we can add to this message for you. So let's see what your oracle cards say about this. Spirit is being really clear here and telling you that it's your own path you need to follow, and nobody else's path will be as perfectly crafted for you as yours will be, and nobody else can craft that path for you. Your inner child is saying that they want you to create a world of your own, not step into a world that was not meant to be yours because you did not create it for yourself. You will only be as comfortable as the world that you create for yourself, and one will never be truly comfortable in a world fabricated for us by others. All right? So here we have communicating freely. I communicate from the depths of my being. This is definitely making me feel like Spirit is telling you that if something does not suit you well and someone else brought it into your life, yes, it's very difficult sometimes if someone has good intentions, but you know something doesn't work for you. It's difficult to tell them, listen, I appreciate what you did, but this isn't really working for me. Maybe difficult, but necessary. Because if you can truly feel something isn't working for you, it's very necessary to graciously tell that person, I appreciate your effort. If it was something that they did for you or a scenario that they may have opened a door for you, it's not ungrateful to say that this does not resonate with you. And if you can feel something doesn't work for you, and this is out of a soul's perspective, not out of a perspective of laziness or not the right amount of money coming in from the scenario. This is truly about something that you feel does not keep you in alignment with your path or does not make you feel like the truest version of you. Okay, so we're going to get some of these small cards. So Spirit is really asking you to be honest when something doesn't suit you, because hiding... Okay, we've got Peacock in reverse. Because hiding the true essence of yourself is never wise, to be honest. It just puts you in a more confused position at the end of the day, you know. So we have got the living room upright, and we're going to get one more card. With Peacock in reverse, I am definitely feeling that there is a sense of not communicating freely, of not telling people when things don't suit you. You just kind of like go with it because you're avoiding the drama maybe, or because you just don't know what to do for yourself. You don't know where you stand. You don't know what you want for your own life. So you're just taking what others give you and seeing how the shoe fits. But if it is something that someone else is giving you and not something that you have discovered for yourself, the shoe rarely fits well, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so we're going to get one more card for you. This one. Okay, kitchen upright. So I'm definitely feeling like there's an element here of having to truly be open with your family if there is something that they are maybe forcing you to do or really putting pressure on you for. It's not telling them to stop putting pressure on you for it. It's about recognizing whether this thing is worth handling the pressure in your life. So this is very much about finding things that that's worth tolerating, you know. Like if you have a job that you may enjoy, sometimes the bad parts of that job is worth tolerating because you enjoy it so much. But if it's something someone else put you under, then it'll be much less easy to tolerate things that you don't enjoy about that scenario because it's not something you chose for yourself. Therefore, it's more difficult to find justification in that exact journey. All right. So we're going to get a chakra wisdom card for you to end off your reading, and we're going to see what advice Spirit is giving you in terms of handling this scenario where you might have been placed on, that you didn't, ask for, that you weren't allowed to craft a path for yourself. Okay, let's see how can we give some advice for our pile of group twos. What advice can you give to our group twos about the scenario that they may be finding themselves in, and what advice can you give them about their inner child and what their inner child may be wanting to say? Okay, we've got a card. Sixth chakra, third eye chakra, mindfulness. Okay, I'm aware of my thoughts and I ask myself, are they uplifting and are they true? I do this because I know that my thoughts significantly affect my mental, emotional, and physical health, and because I know that my body believes everything that I believe. I'm not in control of all situations that come my way, nor am I in control of what others do and say. However, I do have free will as to how I respond. I choose to respond to all situations from an enlightened position rather than just reacting. So, Spirit is telling me that with this card, that if you are in a position to approach someone about a situation that they may have put your life in for maybe what they thought was your benefit, this is telling you to truly approach it with an open heart. This is not about judging someone for forcing you into something. This is about knowing that they probably did it for your best good, but being open enough to tell them that even though I know you know they had good intentions, that this isn't really working for you. And sometimes it's more difficult to do that than it is to just say no to something that was just, you know, you were just forced upon. It's more difficult to say no to something that was presented to you from good intentions. The Spirit is saying that even if something was presented from good intentions, others don't truly know in your soul what it is that you might or might not want in your life. So you need to be free enough to tell them when something does not work for you. At the end of the day, you are just lying to yourself if you're in a scenario that does not make you happy at all, but you're doing it to appease others. And a scenario like that is all right for a certain amount of time, but after a while it starts eating through the ozone layer of your being into your actual skin, soul, and all that. You know, it penetrates deeper and deeper the longer you stay in a scenario where you do not want to be. So that is what I have for you guys from your inner child. Your inner child is really telling you that it would make them happy if you did what your heart wanted to do and not what others want you to do. So that is all I have for you guys. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm very grateful for your presence. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a magnificent evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you find yourself on this beautiful planet. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye bye. Hello my pile threes. If you chose this egg with the almost, I don't know, Easter pattern on it, this is going to be your reading. So what we're going to do is we're going to channel a message from your inner child, and we're going to see what they have to say about the current scenario in your life. So we've pre-shuffled some tarot cards for you, and we're going to get some oracle cards, clarifiers, and advice cards as we go along. So firstly, we have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have, the Nine of Cups in reverse, we have the Fool in reverse, and we have the Eight of Cups upright. Okay, let's see what we get for you guys. So your inner child is telling you that you may have felt very alone when you were younger, especially when you were a child, and Spirit is telling you that as a child sometimes you don't have control over that. You don't have control over being alone, feeling abandoned, or feeling alone. But as an adult, you have much more control over these aspects of your life. Your inner child is telling you that what you were doomed to as a child, maybe in terms of abandonment, not getting enough attention, not having a lot of friends, all of these things are very interchangeable in your adult life, and you don't have to accept an adult life that was the way that your childhood may have been. This is for some. Also, Spirit is telling me that you are hiding away your true feelings and you are not being truthful to your emotions, and you're definitely on a very rigid path. You are willing to sacrifice a lot of your own inner joy for a goal, a certain direction your life may be taking, and your inner child is really calling for you to not take life so seriously. Your inner child is showing me a theater with a play and some hand puppets. They are telling me that you need to have more fun, you need to stop worrying, you need to stop walking away from your emotions. You may be frightened to express your emotions because of the fact that you felt abandoned as a child. Maybe you were in poverty, maybe you did not feel safe as a child, and your inner child is saying that as an adult you have much more control over these things that made you feel so desolate as a child. They're also telling me that you need to have more visual fun in your life. Maybe you do watch a lot of television, but this may be something concerning that you only watch crime dramas, you only watch horror movies. They're really telling me that you're not bringing enough pure fun into your life. Something like innocent comedy or a film at the movies. I'm just getting very theatrical movie vibes type of thing. They're telling you that your emotions have an abundance of their own, but you are so afraid of the negativity associated with it that you would much rather not feel anything. They're telling me that this is not healthy for you, and they feel a lack of joy because of this. They want you to be happy above all else. They do not want you to linger on pain. They do not want you to linger on the seriousness of life. They want you to have as much fun as possible, because that will make all aspects of life that are either in your past, present, or you're worrying about the future may be all mildened. I don't know, that's not a word. Maybe this pain may be milder if you focus more on pure joy. What we often forget is that the inner child thrives on safety, pure joy, just an authentic being of yourself, and I feel like you're kind of hiding behind the curtain here, not wanting to be your authentic self. Maybe I just heard this is stupid, so maybe you're a little judgmental of being in that childlike wonder or whimsy of yourself and your inner child. And Spirit is saying there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's all right to be childish sometimes. It's all right to find what others may think is childish funny, enjoyable. I feel like Spirit is really telling me that you are being very harsh on yourself, and maybe because you came from a place where poverty or abandonment or anything to that effect may have been very relevant in your life. This is really saying that all the power that you have inside of you is more than enough to feel safe. You have the power to make your inner child feel safe and feel protected, because you are no longer your inner child. You are now the bearer of your inner child. You are now the nanny, shall I say, the proverbial spiritual nanny. And you now get to take care of your inner child. Your inner child is no longer in a position where it needs to be frightened, and neither do you. All right. So we're going to get an oracle card for you and going to see what Spirit is saying in terms of your inner child, and how they want to relate your inner child message with the oracle cards. So let's see what they have to say about your inner child and how your inner child can benefit from you. Okay, that's how we get 3. That's too many. We only need 2 at the most. But let's see if we can get 1 card for group 3. Spirit, we need 1 card for group 3 in terms of their... No, we need 1 in terms of their inner child. Oh, 3 again. Oh, you are group 3, so maybe 3 is a thing for you. Okay. We need 1 more card for group 3, please, Spirit. 1 more card for group 3. 1 more card for group 3. 1 card for group 3 from our oracle deck to see how this one. Okay, you have embracing the future. I step into the future with an open heart. So this is really telling me that there is not going to be a repetition of the past. You are not going to be a child again. You are not going to be a child who does not have control over the safety and joy in their heart. You are going to be an adult that has full control over their life. Well, you are an adult that has full control over their life, and you can make any changes you want. You are not under the power of anyone, particularly the way you may have been as a child. You now have the ability to be safe and joyful on your own terms, and that is very important. And carrying this energy into the future will definitely be beneficial to you. So we're going to see what your wisdom card has to say. What does wisdom can you offer group 3? Okay. We have the 6th chakra, 3rd eye chakra, knowledge. I recognize that a great deal of knowledge and information comes to me in form of intuition, such as clairvoyance, clairaudience, and a hypersensitive feelings. I use my intellect combined with my intuition to delve into circumstances from a philosophical and spiritual viewpoint. I aim to understand the truth behind my situations that come my way, as this helps me to respond with wisdom. I cultivate positive beliefs about life, myself, and others. So what I'm feeling with this card is Spirit is really trying to tell you that you don't need to walk away from painful emotions. Alright, Spirit is telling me that you need to look at these things that may have made you feel desolate, unloved, unprotected, and alone as a child, because those things are no longer relevant. Therefore, they can no longer physically hurt you, but they can hurt you mentally. Thinking about things in the past is painful, but your inner child really needs you to resolve these things that cause them this pain, because if you do not let go of the things that kept your inner child imprisoned, shall I say, then you will forever be visiting your inner child in a prison. You need to let your inner child know that it is okay. You are an adult now. They are taken care of. You are taken care of. You have the ability to change the joy and the frequency of the abundance in your life. You need to know that you are in full control of your joy and your happiness. Yes, outside circumstances do have an influence. I'm not arguing that point. The fact is that you have a certain amount of power over your joy and your circumstances, and what you choose to overthink, what you choose to keep, and what you choose to let go. And there are definitely a lot of emotions that you're avoiding here, but Spirit is saying that in your emotions and in delving into your emotions, you have knowledge. Knowledge is something that you have gained in terms of knowing your emotions, but only if you choose to look at them. If you do not look up your emotions, you can possibly gain the knowledge that is there for you to see. So we're going to get 3 of these small cards and see if there are any more messages that come through for you guys. Anything else you might need to know in relation to your reading. Those 2 just didn't want to come out. So we're looking for any extra cards. We have white. And this is saying that when you look at those emotions and those memories that may be painful that your inner child wants you to address, you will be protected, and your spirit guides will be holding your hand through these painful processes. And this is not to say that this process will necessarily be extremely painful, but it is often not easy to look at our struggles as children because we know we did not understand it at the time, and it often looks much worse in retrospect. But this is saying that you are here where you are now. You are not in the past. And Spirit is very willing and always there to hold your hand when you're looking back at these things that may still keep you emotionally unavailable in your current life. Then we have white again. She's tough, determined, and will do what it takes to get to the top. When things don't go her way, however, watch out for her vengeful streak. And your reading, this is telling me that the inner child is sometimes a little bit of a crybaby, and they want things the way they want them. So this is just warning you that working with your inner child may sometimes feel a little bit on the immature side, but this is also about understanding where your inner child is coming from and how to translate that in a way where it does do the work it needs to do in an adult fashion. All right. Alright, we're gonna get 1 more of these cards to see. Okay, we have the rope in reverse. This is giving me the image of a child tied to a chair that is very active, a child that wants it, still a child that is constantly getting into trouble. Maybe you were that type of child, but this is saying that negative reinforcement will not be helpful to you. If you get overwhelmed by your emotions and you punish yourself for that, it will not be helpful. This is about embracing the good and the bad of yourself to be able to see a clearer picture of what you need to get to that inner joy that the inner child provides. So we have the candlestick in reverse. This is telling me that maybe some of these emotions are still very hidden to you, but Spirit is telling me that with the candlestick in reverse, it can always be uncovered. So this is definitely giving me a lot of air of clarity, and this is telling me that there's a lot to discover in yourself and about your past, and this may be something that leads you to a completely different lifestyle or perspective, which is always a very exciting endeavor for anyone to be in. So I thank you very much for joining me for this reading. I hope it resonated with you. I hope there was something that you've learned from this. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm very, very grateful for your presence. Bye bye, guys.